Turn the volume down. Yep, and I can see us. We are visible.
Okay. Are we on Book Asylum podcast? Because it's not showing up on mine.
I'm not seeing us on that. I am seeing us on Richard Ryan Rose. But I can do this quick share action because I'm so cool like that.
You should go ahead and share it to Written Undead and we'll be good to go.
Bam and bam.
Okay.
Posted. So we are. Hello. We are back again for the second part of the takeover by Richard R. Rose, author of the Wild Eyed Southern Boyz. Book 3 out now. Go snatch it up. If you don't have the first two, you know what to do. Get them. It's easy. We're going to have Dungeondan hanging out with us today because this poor guy has been suffering for what feels like decades, waiting and waiting and waiting. And now the day has finally come. The book is in the real world. It's out there, people. That poster behind me, that's what you're looking for. Go get that. Richard, my man, how does it feel? Oh, we got the echo again. Finally come.
Yeah, my bad. Stand by for
Behind me. That's what you're looking for.
ID 10T error. My bad. All right.
Please tell me, Richard, you were never in charge of weapon systems.
Well, yeah, actually.
Yeah, he did do artillery.
Yeah. I was artillery.
That was look, that one village was totally not his fault. The wind shifted that day.
Shit happens. I get it.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a precise thing, it's 10-digit grid coordinates. We got 10 meters to mess around with. So.
It's pretty good. I can't even think of the word. Never mind. Continue.
Oh, and hey, Angel. Angel is watching us. He's hanging
Angel
out
Ramon.
there in the house.
What's up, Angel?
So, well, let's get this thing going. We just had the takeover last night over in the Asylum of Fear, which good time. A lot of good comments came in. Anthony Castro, congratulations on the big grand prize win. And there will be more prizes today. So if you missed out last night, you get a fresh new chance at it today. So, Richard, you want to give them a little breakdown on just exactly what it is we're doing here today?
Okay, so with that being said, if you were part of the takeover on the Asylum of Fear yesterday and you were a prize winner, meaning Anthony Castro and Darren Bray, you are ineligible to win anything today. Yeah, so I'm sorry. You already got your prize, so be happy. Want to, distribute the wealth here.
That's right.
Yeah.
So now the contests are going to drop at what times?
Okay, so at 2:15, I'm going to give a bonus question on top of the ones that I've already posted. So if you've been monitoring the Facebook posts in this first hour, there are two trivia questions out there, and there's also a caption this competition, which I will decide after the show on who wins that. And the first person to DM me the correct answers to the trivia questions gets the prize allotted for that specific question. So at 2:15, I'm going to ask a question for it's just a bonus question to get an audible code for book 1, whether it's US or UK, either one's good to go. I have both. And then I'll ask at 2:30 a grand prize question. So the person who wins that grand prize will get an autographed copy of every one of my books, all 3 books.
Oh shit!
And you'll also get an autographed 11 by 17 poster like the one behind Jack there, of whichever cover of your choice, whether book 1 through book 3.
I would recommend that one, obviously. Just saying.
Anyone but that one.
Yeah. That one's a little ugly. Just just one little section. Just over there to your. Right.
I just love that you took into account when you had Jack's character on that poster that he's got a frog ass. I thought that was brilliant.
I've been studying Jack's ass quite quite heavily, because I mean, I give it, I'll leave it all on the field when I write my books, I mean, I go all out.
I still should have put a damn camera up when I came out and stayed with y'all this past weekend. Hey, no,
Oh,
telling
don't
what was
worry,
going
it'll
on
be
while I
on
was-
the internet soon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to bring that bell of yours inside so we can ring it every time something inappropriate gets said here today.
Yeah.
So, anywho, well, just a real quick recap. All right, book one, you introduce Rue and Buford and this wonderful cast of just lovable characters, hateable characters, so much good stuff. Then you fly into book two, which originally was only going to be just the beginning of the full story, which is now what is book three. But it kept writing itself, got longer, and became the Rougarou War, which is also up here behind me. And so, and that turned out brilliant, by the way.
Yeah,
It
did.
It didn't need to be short. It did need to be that length. It told a great story. And so now we find ourselves with that book right there, fresh, hot off the presses, currently being recorded for Audible. Going into that, how much of that had you already thought out?
Just going into the book.
Like right off the rip, you're like, all right, book two's done. I'm ready to start book three. First word hits the page. How much did you already know?
Okay. Well, kind of going back to the start of Rougarou War. I originally had a plan of starting book two immediately after the sequel, immediately after, the first book. And I was going to have the original title was going to be Revenge of the Rougarou. But I've come up with Dead Cold War instead. I like that better.
I think that was a good choice.
That's a damn good choice.
Yeah.
But so going back into it, my original plan was to have the Rougarou War be a backstory for the second book. It's just going to be a short little backstory telling, kind of, a broad summarization of what happened in the Rougarou War. Like the key elements. What did Preacher Cody do that actually had him riddled with guilt for the rest of his life, and what led him to that? What happened in this Rougarou War? Why is Jedediah Boar such a hailed hero as a warrior, and how did the Roos come about to be such staunch allies with the Foresters? There's just too much that I had to explain. I'm like, if I write a backstory, this thing's going to be so long, it's going to push book two out to War and Peace level. And I didn't want to make it that long. And so I decided I want to make it a novella. Well, that novella, grew into past 40,000 words. So it became a standalone novel as a prequel. And it was, it's like 55,000 words once it was all said and done. And so I had that part. I had to tell the Rougarou War part, at least, and get the main story told, because it ties directly into the book two, book three, where the Alpha Gallo comes back to finish what he threatened to do in the Rougarou War. So he's coming back with world domination in mind, and he's also got a score to settle with the people of Stillwater. Hell bent on revenge and world domination. It's not a good mix. So, and everything that he threatened to do in Rougarou War, he carried out and is ready to back his big mouth up when it comes to Dead Cold War.
So I'm at a disadvantage. I have not read this yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get my copy until tomorrow.
Can't wait for you to read. Cannot wait for you to read that thing, man. Like I said, I'm halfway. Oh, it's good.
I'm a big fan of the Audible, but there are certain stories that when I can get the paperback version, I'll just go ahead and start digging in. And if Audible shows up, then I'll stop and go into Audible. But I don't know anything about Dead Cold War other than Jack turns into an asshole. And that's all I know. And that's just based on rumors.
And that's putting it lightly.
So it's like I have a ton of questions. And actually, I don't have a ton of questions. But I mean, I don't know. I feel at a disadvantage because normally I've read these books when I'm on a show and I can be on the same level as the other people. And here I am, I'm sitting in the trash can. I don't know anything about this other than the title and the poster.
Okay.
Well, you will gain some insights, as the show goes along without getting anything spoiled necessarily. But, well, in fact, here's something you do know because, you've read book 1. You remember when you remember when you got to meet the cryptids that they had at the laboratory?
Yeah.
There may be some of them coming back.
Really?
Possibly, yeah. So here's what I can do. I can share the premise. Okay.
Okay.
So, you know what the cover is. You know it's a sequel.
Yeah,
but
I know it took 15 years to get published.
Yeah, it did. A lot of red tape to get through on this one.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead. What the premise? Let's hear it from the guy that wrote it.
Okay. So it's a year has passed since the uprising. Since the end of book 1, and Townsend and everything, Smoky Mountains is picking up the pieces and trying to heal from the from a major disaster that they had, and Townsend is trying to creep back into some economic prosperity, and Rue is into his job as the chief of police for the Townsend Police Department. Buford is serving as a park ranger, and Penny is the new park ranger supervisor for that area. And so it pretty much picks up right up from where we left off at the end of book 1. So life is starting to come back to some sense of normalcy. We'll start out at Buford's wedding, which is a pretty funny chapter.
Spoiler.
Yeah. but when you so everything is looking up. On the side you also have Miss Thelma and Rachel working hard at it to try to find a cure for Hunter. He has a condition that's life threatening, and he only has so much time before they can find some way to reverse the effects of his altered DNA. And I'll just leave it at that for those that have not even started the series. So there's a side story there. So we're not going to be limited to just little old Townsend, Tennessee. We're going global. So yeah, there'll be some action in Townsend, but that's not where it's going to end. It's not where it's going to be limited to. So we've got a side story there trying to find Hunter's cure. Then we have a resort being reconstructed under a new ownership of a multi-billionaire by the name of Ernest Kemper, and learn a little bit more about who he actually is. But there's a whole plan for this world domination known as the culling. So Gallo is back, and he's got the Spawned, the vampires, on his side as allies. And they've infiltrated into society, taken major political positions and positions within our U.S. militaries. And so their plan for the culling is to take over the world and enslave, all of humankind and ape kind, for all that matter. But before he carries out this world domination plan, he has a score to settle, like I said, with the people of Stillwater. So before he can get his mind in the ball game, he's got to have his revenge.
Of course.
Yep.
Oh, real quick.
That's
Hello,
in a nutshell.
Merrill David. Merrill David is out there watching us.
Hey, what's up, Dave?
Well, man, I got to tell you, here's something to really think about for if you haven't read book 1, you haven't gotten the description of what the spawn look like. They don't glitter, none of that. In fact, they don't look anything like your traditional vampire. These things are horrifying, like straight up legit horrifying. Although they do kind of glitter. Yeah, they
do glitter a little bit there.
A little bit. Yeah, I forget. Yeah, they do kind of do that, don't they? But that's okay because they're horrendous looking. So
yeah, they do glitter a little bit before they catch fire. So
what happened to Jack?
Oh, I yanked the cord because I was wondering if I can get it without any glare on it. But as you can see flying in the background, we got a couple of the characters there. And the spawn, if I'm correct, is
No, that's JD.
No, other side. That's right.
Other side spawn.
Yep. Yeah, I've got the thing turned on the wrong side of it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do it on the screen. It's just not working for me. But yeah, that's definitely not your typical Count Dracula action going on right there.
Nope.
You don't want no part of these damn things. We'll just set it back up there because if I try to get up and put it up, I will probably rip the whole damn set down.
That could be entertaining.
They're actually closer to your traditional legend of a vampire because vampires are pretty much blood-sucking zombies. They're rotting corpses and really nasty creatures. They're not, debonair Anne Rice characters that you want to just, have sex with at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what's always fascinated me about the vampires was I always liked the darker side, the rotted, ugly thing that they actually are. They can project a different image, I guess, from all the different ones that I've read. But when you actually look at them, they're just horrible corpses, and they're just there to suck blood.
Yeah, like what's the movie set up in Alaska?
30 Days a Night, best
30 Days a
movie
Night
ever. I love that movie.
God, I saw that in the theater. You know that big overhead shot where you saw all the bodies and the vampires run around chasing people. Fucking amazing on a giant screen.
Yeah,
loved it.
It was a legitimate scary horror movie, and there's not many horror movies out there nowadays that even make me get my heart racing a little bit. No, I mean, I just don't. I don't get scared by movies. Closest I can find is I can tell you that is scary. Okay, that's pretty scary. I can tell you, 30 Days a Night, scary. If I saw that when I was a kid, it would have scared the living hootie pootie out of me.
See, that would have terrified me as a kid too.
Mm-hmm.
I live in the world of horror. I watch horror movies. Everything I do is horror related, so it takes a lot to really get to me.
Yep.
Other than serial killers, which is a real thing, I find the monster or the creature the scariest is the ones that are just being what they are, and it's horrifying. 30 Days a Night, they're vampires, but they have none of our norms, none of our social rights, or I don't even know how to say this. It was just terrifying because they had no intention of letting anybody live. There's no bargains to be made. Your dinner, that was it. It's like, how much longer can you live? Why do you even bother hiding? Might as well just get it over with.
Well, and that movie has one of my favorite lines of any movie anywhere. When the one vampire's got the woman and she's like, "Oh God," and he's like, "God, there is no God." It's like, that was cold. Like, I mean, you just knowing that woman literally just let every bowel movement, just everything just went right then.
Yeah, I tell you now, the by far, 30. I thought about having 30 Days a Night kind of vampires in my book, but when I got to thinking about their description, they're eerily like the Wendigos in the first book. So I'm like, it's just too
close
to what I had. Yeah, too close to what I had before. So, but what I came up with, well, it worked out fabulously. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Well, I mean, giving them the ability to fly and be that strong, that gives them at least an advantage, when having to deal with the Sasquatch, because if you take the ones from 30 Days of Night, dude, Buford's just walking around swatting fools.
Yeah. See, that's another brilliant idea about taking it another direction, because if against humans, no match, but against a bigger, stronger beast, fuck.
Okay, I got we're a few minutes late for the first trivia question, or the actually the
bonus.
third bonus trivia question. So here we go. Are you ready? Good. All right. So where was Penny first stationed as a park ranger prior to coming to the Smoky Mountains? So I'll say again, where was Penny first stationed as a park ranger prior to coming to the Smoky Mountains?
And now, just for all you people that don't have these books, and you want to win something, the trick is jump on Amazon or Kindle like right now, and you can go get the answer.
This is Jack. He can't stand anybody having to think. He's all like, let me tell you how to cheat.
Oh, yeah.
This is Richard's deal. Here's how you cheat.
Do I look like a thinker?
Buy my book and look it up. That's fine. It's okay.
Don't worry about reading the story. Yeah. Amazon will tell you everything.
Yeah.
And hey, for a full disclaimer, none of this book was written by AI, since that's now a thing.
Oh, no. Nothing artificial about my intelligence. Nope.
I have talked to your wife once or twice. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. Don't believe a word she says about me.
I can see she's not around, so that's why his head's still intact. So
yeah.
Makes sense.
You listen to her, you think I was a real idiot.
Yeah.
All right, would catch us up real quick on some comments here. C. Derek Miller says, I own 30 days and have never watched it. I guess I'll change that now. So we have just inspired him to finally watch this freaking movie. So good job by us.
Dude, yeah. The sequel
and then
sucked, but the first one.
Then Kristen Vincent said, can't wait to add to my shelf. So she's on board. And Angel says the books are so good in paperback. And I do want to back up because we were kind of chatting here and I didn't get a chance to point this one out. But Angel had earlier said, ooh, damn, Jack, I didn't know your butt was the focus.
It really was. That's all the cover art was about. If they didn't get your butt right, I was just gonna we're done.
Scrap it. We didn't even get the plates right, but it's okay as long as the butt looks good.
Yeah. The butt was all that mattered. Yeah. And Kristen, you do have book one on your shelf right now, just as a reminder.
Crack it open.
And I've got
crack it open. I got it when I got the first two books. It was with the old cover. And they're
gonna be worth money. They're gonna be worth money, bro.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I felt so strongly about the story that I gave both of those books to a coworker who was excited, couldn't wait to start them. And then I get home and I'm like, what did I do, man? I just gave away my collectibles.
Yes, you did. And ain't no telling what kind of schmegma is gonna wind up on those.
It's going to turn into like this multi-billion-dollar film, and I could have had like a rare commodity. I just gave it away.
I know it'd be like finding, original copy of Bram Stoker's Dracula, more valuable. Yeah.
The handwritten one.
See, this is something I never tell anybody, but the wall is awesome and I love it because it looks so cool and everything. But those are like lottery tickets I got hanging up there. I just need one of them to hit and I can relax. So any author you think you're about to hit, go ahead and send me a book. I'll hang it up.
So says Jack, give me free books. Gotta respect it.
Hey, go big or go home, dog.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Now let's move this little train on down the tracks before we somehow manage to start losing wheels, because we're kind of known for that kind of a thing. Now, since we're talking about the covers, you've changed the covers recently. Wendy Sabercore, who is freaking outstanding, because not just have I seen these covers that she's made, but I've seen other works of hers. And oh my God, you talk about talent and just imagination. It's amazing. What was it that pushed you to go, you know what? Need a different look?
Well, when I was at events, I had, people asking me, is this a kid's book? Because the original covers that were great, but they were just, cartoony. And, People were telling me, it looks pretty cartoony. It's probably, why people are mistaking it for like a kid's book. And I'm like, yeah, it's not a kid's book. I mean, I've had to, stop even a couple of parents that are getting ready to buy them for their 8-year-old kid. And like, man, parental discretion is advised. There is foul language, there's graphic violence, and lost a couple of sales that way, but that's okay.
Right. You didn't scar
Yeah.
any young people.
Right. But so I'm like, yeah, but I need a Sasquatch dressed up in a modified Knights Templar tunic that's different colors and scale mail armor, holding medieval weapons. Okay, we can't find an actual Sasquatch to model that for us. So I was thinking that's about the only way I can get anything like that on a cover is it's just going to have to be cartoony. I just don't see any way of making it realistic. Of course, I'm not that kind of artist. I can't even draw stick figures worth of crap. So then, somebody, recommended Wendy Sabercord to me. And so I reached out and I asked them, hey, what do you think you can do with this? And just blew my mind what he come back with. And
Night and day.
oh gosh. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. So I'll show you. You've seen book 3.
Here we go.
See how well is this showing up here?
Oh yeah.
This is book 1.
Hey, that thing is so shiny. We're even kind of getting to see your screen. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's high quality postership right there.
Oh yeah. That's courtesy of my lovely wife.
Mm.
All the cool looking and nice looking stuff. That's Pat's doing. That ain't my doing. I just write the books. Yeah.
And look at that beast.
Oh yeah.
I love that particular cover.
That one is badass. And the thing is,
Yeah.
of the first 2 covers, the first cover of the original book was my favorite. The second one was like, I love the shadows thing where you could kind of see the present and the past kind of intermingled. But it's like you said, it was kind of cartoony. It was kind of kids book looking.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly what Wild Eyed Southern Boyz, the Rougarou War, that's what the cover should look like. I mean, because that tells it. That truly freaking tells it.
Kind of captured the badassery of it and not, the cuteness of it. Even though the first one, I've got zombies being cut in half, and also got some serious violence going on. Just ask Amazon, and
oh yeah.
but it still looked, it just looked too much like a cartoon. And my artist, she did a great job. Not criticizing Jenny Hudson, she does awesome work. It just I had to go with something different for my particular brand.
Well, that's the unfortunate thing about the business. You have to have a cover that grabs, and
right.
Even me, just being honest, the original covers, I would pass it by. I would eventually get to it, but once I started reading, the story itself just pulled me in. And I'm a zombie guy, so I'm all like, I don't really care about Bigfoot and all these, frickin' dudes from Tennessee and stuff, but you get into the story very, very quick. And you just start identifying, at least I started identifying with certain characters, and then I just wanted more. And when I saw that the second book was a prequel, I'm like, man, that's a weird move. I mean, other people have done it, but in this incident, that actually worked, because now a whole bunch of the characters from book 1, now I'm getting to see them back in their day and the battles they fought to get us, up to the point that book 1 starts. So good move on that.
Thank you.
I'll let you know about book 3 when I get it.
Yeah, I'm just joking. I haven't even released it yet, Dan. I mean,
no, see, Amazon's gonna send me an email going, fooled you.
Yeah, this was just a big ruse. We're not really doing a takeover, Dan. We're just getting together to go, screwed you.
I should have
I'm
looked
like-
at the title of the show. It's like "Fuck Dan Over Show."
I'm like that guy on that Apple TV show where they're selling timeshares on the moon that don't exist. That's what I'm doing. I ain't even started writing the book yet, but
you just got catfish.
got catfish.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
But no, seriously, like I said, I'm loving what I'm reading so much right now, Dan, that I literally want to just take my book, go right to the first page of the prologue, snap a picture, and just keep snapping pictures till I get you the prologue and just send them to you. Here, start reading it now. You know, like just read it on your phone through the text message. Just start reading it now.
I probably would too. But
I'm telling you, if
it
with
shows
how
up
much,
tomorrow. I can open it up. I got nothing else planned. I can just dive right in.
well, man,
I
as much
hope you
as you
enjoy it,
love
man.
as much as you enjoyed those first two books, man, this is one of them buckle up, Buttercup, because it's about to get rocking.
Yeah, things do get pretty crazy in this book. So I was real happy at how the story all came together. So you're asking me how much of the story did I have put together when I started diving into it? You know, it's like
Mhm.
after Rougarou War, I'm like, okay, I've told a chunk of the story now. I gotta, you know, get back to modern times and give them some more Buford and Rue. And so I had a basic idea. You know, it's just pretty much the same way I started out with the first book. I had a beginning, I had how I wanted it to end, I had, you know, key elements to happen in between, and just getting to those key elements and making it all make sense is that was the challenging part. That's the part that it required a ton of research and you know, just to make it sound like I know what the hell I'm talking about. And so that was the big challenge, and one of the reasons why the book took so long, other than, you know, came at a inconvenient time of my life, retiring from the military and all that. But you know, so fortunately, I got it out. But it's
Finally.
it took a lot. It took a lot to put all those pieces of the puzzle together and have them all make sense and be entertaining, just like the first book. And so, which it did. It worked out. It worked out great, in my own opinion. We'll see what the rest of the readers think, but I think if you like the first two books, you're definitely going to like this one.
Did you leave it on a cliffhanger?
Ooh,
Now,
good
leave it on a
question.
cliffhanger.
Your second book kind of brought us up to speed. I could see where you were going to go with more, but you know, it was, you know how some stories, they just leave you hanging. You're like, that motherfucker. You know? So is book 3, is that going to be that motherfucker?
Well, I mean, book 3 might even end it, considering, you know, that Jack kills Buford and Rue in this book. So
What? You're fucking with me.
I'm pulling a Dukes of Hazzard. I'm bringing a Coy and Vince on board. It'll be Rue's
You're gonna bring
cousin,
the cousins in?
Yeah, Rue and Buford's cousins.
Oh my god. That's the moment when that show jumped the Shark Tank.
Yeah.
It's like I told y'all, man. The Baron's going to be barbecuing Buford while little Ricky Rue watches on. Come on now. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, Penny's going to fall in love with Jack, and you know it's going to end. You know.
Yeah.
With a nuclear device, I hope.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, this world's over.
Yeah, it may be a little Shakespearean there at the end, you know. Oh,
Yeah,
tragic
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, and people taking some hemlock and shit. You know, it's gonna get bad. But
Well, now on the researching end of it, because I always get fascinated by that, especially now that I'm attempting to be a writer, and the researching kind of scares me a little bit. But
yeah,
there's a part in book 3, and I'm not going to give character names, nothing. Okay, it's the setting, the scenery, where we're at. How much research did you do into the Himalayan mountains? Because you got pretty detailed in the description of where they were, what everything looked like, how the temperatures were, for Pete's sake. Every little detail was just perfect.
Yeah, but how hard can that be, Jack? There's snow, there's rocks, there's a tree. It's really cold.
Yeah.
Done.
You'll see.
I had to Google what's the temperature in cold as a witch's titty.
Actual
What
measurement.
temperature is that? I mean, Celsius and Fahrenheit. I need to know both.
For the guys over the pond, I have to have both of these. Oh God.
Well, yeah, you can't alienate readers now. You got to cover everybody.
Yeah. So I mean,
Oh no!
I did do a lot of research into the topography and the ancient history, ancient mythology. Like the whole city of Shanxi, which will come into play in the third book, and all that is based on actual mythology. So it's all true.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's actual mythology. So yeah, I mean, everything that I have is grounded in some kind of reality, or at least mythology of some sort. So
Oh,
can we have a book floor that kills flat earthers? Sasquatch goes after the flat earth culture.
Flat earthers.
I damn it, I know too much, and so I cannot comment on that. Damn it.
Look, his head's smoking.
I think he knows too much, Jack.
Uh-huh.
Might have to be a victim of an unfortunate accident. You know what I'm saying? But shit, we're streaming this live, aren't we? Okay.
Yep.
I just figured I figured I'd be dead before book 3 book 4 ever gets out.
Of old age, So.
Hey,
of old age, yeah.
Tentative release of 2036. Just hang in there.
Yeah.
You're gonna see me on the news as the world oldest man, 132 years old, and they're gonna like, well, how did you live so long? It's fucking Richard Ryan Rose in book 4.
Still waiting on the damn thing. Yeah. So
all joking aside, though, I'm glad you did take the time with it, that you didn't allow yourself to start feeling rushed. Like, man, I've really got to hurry and get this thing done. Even with all the stuff I got going on with retiring from the Air Force, with, getting moved out back to Tennessee, with everything you had going on, you were still like, nope, going to take my time, going to make it right.
Yeah.
Because it is reflected in that story. Promise you, it's reflected in that story.
Okay. And if it's not, what do I get, Jack?
A wedgie.
I already got one of those. Thanks.
Oh, well, shit.
You get to leave a bad review. How's that?
There you go.
Fair enough. I'll leave it for Jack, not Richard. This book sucked because Jack Childress.
Because that damn Jack Childress character.
Yeah. Kept bugging Richard, made the book delay in its fucking drop.
Well, look, he had to be written right. Okay. Just saying, you're going to take one of the nicest people on the planet and turn him into a villain. You got to get it right.
So how's he looking so far, Jack, in your opinion, without any spoilers? How's your character looking to you?
If I knew this person like in real life, I would want to cut their head off. Like, get off my planet. You are what's wrong with the world. Go away. You are a scumbag.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much
normal life for you then.
Yeah.
Just want to punch the guy. Just want to punch him.
He's a total douchebag, man.
I just want to punch my computer screen right now.
Well, no,
right on his eyes.
In book, book 1, I guess that character wasn't such a douchebag. He was actually like trying to help.
Well,
what
that's
happened?
that's the ancestor. Yeah, that's the ancestor. That's from 1901. That's the Jack Childress Senior. In book 3, you're back to modern day, which is 100 and whatever year,
22 years.
Years later. So yeah, that guy's dead. He's been dead. He croaked.
So so the current character is just the bad apple that rolled away from the tree.
Yeah.
And that is
fourth great grandson.
He actually tells you that in the part when you finally meet Jack as he's doing stuff, that the whole lineage of the Childress clan were good people, but it skipped a generation when it got to that guy.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That'll be fun to read.
And see, I said he wrote stuff about that character that is so far away from me as a real person that it made it perfect. Like,
because he's like really smart.
Yeah.
And
he is. Yep. And he was in the military for a little while until they decided he didn't need to be there anymore.
Oh, we got to see the comments on that one. Angel has to have said something funny.
Not yet. So far, all he said is, love the frame.
Oh, that's funny in its own right.
Yeah, and I am kind of thinking Jack probably did get framed, and that's how he wound up in jail in the first place. Because he wouldn't have done stuff like what Richard described him as doing. Come on.
I tell you, I want to throw another question. Well, you know what? It is.
Is it time
for a contest?
Yeah, actually a little bit past, well, way past time. So let's go with the grand prize question, ladies and gentlemen. The grand prize question. Yeah, the first person to DM me the correct answer to this question is gets the grand prize of a signed copy of books 1, 2, and 3, and a signed poster, 11 by 17 poster, like what Jack has there, signed, of your choice, whether it be book 1, book 2, or book 3.
Okay, I got to bring this up because I'm gonna DM you as soon as you ask it. I already know the answer.
One sexy MFer, Jack. That's how I signed his. So, you want me to personalize it? I'll personalize the hell out of it.
Heck yeah.
That's scary.
All right. So here is the question. All right. So in the side story or the backstory of Robert de Borif, Knight Templar, who sends Robert de Borif on his mission to the New World? Who gives him that assignment?
Answer is 42. Sent.
42. Okay. Again, wrong book. But
come on, it's a funny answer no matter what. Unless you've never read the book, then you're like, what the fuck is this 42 thing?
So with that being said, now not the 42 thing, but Hitchhiker's Guide bullshit. But
bullshit.
And matter of fact, I had a Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Me and my best friend Scott Atkins, Buford's based on, went out there and we both had the Pan-Galactic Gargle Blasters, and they were horrible. Yeah, they were terrible. Anyway, okay, so as far as these questions are concerned, the first person to DM me. So if I don't have the answers by the end of this show, that's cool. That's fine. You have until midnight tonight to DM me the correct answer. So I will be checking those first thing in the morning. And so far, I don't think I have any answers to any of the questions yet.
Not yet.
So all these trivia questions that have been posted, or the 2 that I just asked, they're up for grabs. And
so if you don't get a correct answer, Richard, does it just default to whoever answered at least? Because, my answer could win.
That's the right answer.
I was thinking on that. If we did get, say we got 10 answers, none of them right, one of them being 42. Have y'all seen that thing like Angel does? And I've seen others do it where they got that wheel and you put all the contestants' names on it, and you spin the wheel and it slowly eliminates until you're down to one person, or you just do one spin and just pick whoever it lands on, as being a way just to throw all the people that at least commented, at least participated, throw them all in the hat.
Like a mobile app or something?
I guess so. Angel could probably tell us. In fact, Angel, if you're still out there watching right now, buddy, let Rich know about the wheel and how to make that work, because he uses that all the time to give away books, and it's pretty cool because he does it live, and he'll turn his camera.
See.
Yeah, you can watch.
You get to watch it.
So it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. So I was thinking something like that. Like even if people don't get it right, we'll just throw everybody's names in the hat, and somebody's gonna get lucky.
So you're gonna have to mail something out no matter what.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a learning curve. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first time I've ever. This is only my second takeover. My first one being yesterday. So.
And he was stuck with me, who had literally been at work for like 10 hours, and I'm home like, okay, we're ready to go. Let's do it.
Yeah. Moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen: buy my books, please.
Yes.
And unlike most
you'll
people,
be happy you did.
Yes, you will absolutely be happy that you did. And yes, we are biased because we love this guy, but I didn't know who he was when I first listened to Wild Eyed Southern Boyz 1. No, got to interview him.
We're not biased. At least I'm not. I actually love this fucking story. Never thought I would like a Bigfoot story.
Yeah,
I'm invested.
And the thing is, have you ever read or even seen another book or series like this? I mean, there's Bigfoot books. There's Tufo's got Devil's Desk.
Yeah, Devil's Desk. That's about the most recent.
But to have like this cast of characters, the fact that there is Stillwater, this underground town with, shops and taverns and a church. And I mean, like they're literally living like we live, but just hidden away. And then you've got all the other cryptids that just happen to be there as well. I'm sorry, I've never seen this anywhere.
Makes you wonder if Richard knows something we don't. I'd be willing to bet there's a Sasquatch bookstore in town that has all of his books, and everybody's like, "Man, that shit's garbage. I ain't reading it." Bigfoot colony does not like it.
I'm just wondering if he's been out to Area 51 a few times and just not allowed to tell us about it.
I don't think he'll remember even if he has.
True enough.
I can tell you, I can tell you for sure I've never been to Area 51.
But he was at Area 69.
Yeah, I've been to Area 69 many a time. Not recently, but yeah, I mean, many a time. But
yeah.
So now, what is the ultimate plan with this series? I mean, this is the kind of question where I'm not going to ask you to be humble. Don't be humble. Fuck humble. Humble left and is down the road. What would you like to see? Exactly. What would you like to see happen with Wild Eyed Southern Boyz? Now, myself personally, I would prefer to see it as a series on, like, I don't know, HBO Max, Netflix, something like that, where you can just go full blown. You don't have to leave anything out. But what do you want?
Well, if I would love to see it on a screen. I mean, a lot of writers, probably dream about that. And, I mean, if for nothing else, I mean, it's a good payday.
It is
big money in that, so I definitely would love to see these stories make it to either the big screen or the small screen. Again, you and I have had this conversation before, Jack, that with everything that you got going on, even in the first book, I mean, just book one by itself, there's really no way you can capture or do the story justice in 2, even 3 hours.
No.
Yeah, and nobody wants to go to the movies and watch a 4 or 5 hour long movie. I mean, I won't. I don't care what the movie's about. It could be the next Star Wars movie. I'm not going to sit in a theater that long.
Yeah, at best, that's a wait for the DVD.
Yeah,
or Blu-ray, whatever.
Yeah, so I mean, and with a series, you got more time. You got more breadth to work with to get your story told, and so I think a series would be best for my books, because I think the only book in the series right now that you could capture in a 2.5 hour movie would be Rougarou War. But books 1 and book 3, no way.
Absolutely not. That's why I'm like full blown go series mode, because I could literally see it being 2 complete seasons just for book 1. Because you get to a point in that first book where you could cut it like right here and go, boom, end of season 1, build up for season 2, and then finish out book 1 in a second season. Because hell, how long is the audiobook? For anyone out there that might get lucky and be one of the ones to win the audiobook, how long is that bad boy?
It's over 18 hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this third book, I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but it's going to be, the book itself is less than 30 pages less than book 1. So it's not going to be much shorter.
Well, now, when you figure, now this is kind of some behind the scenes stuff. I get to pat the old back. I did get to listen to Stephen Vernon read chapter 9, because, we've got to watch his voice because of a certain Bartholomew and the way he speaks. Just that one chapter by itself is over 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting a ton of content when you get these audiobooks. If you're an audiobook fan like me, like Dan, like Richard, he loves to listen while he jogs. I mean, it's they're great, and if you got the right voice, they're even better. So trust me on this. These things in a screened format, movies will not do them justice. Now, granted, if they walk up and handed him a check for $20 million and said, hey, here's for the first one, run it, but
you're going to name it Wild Eyed Southern Boyz? Okay, that's fine. I'll take it. 10s and 20s.
Woke-eyed?
10s and 20s. All right.
Was not expecting that.
This usually only happens on the padded room, but Dan, there just went a wheel.
Yep. I've never been on a show other than that one that we lose the wheels.
One just
and
went flying.
Richard derailed his own train. That's even better.
And don't worry, I think the people in that Volkswagen are going to be okay. Just saying.
Yeah, I tell you the story is very near and dear to me, in all honesty. So I would be very particular about what kind of terms I would agree to, but again, somebody holding $20 million check in front of my face, I ain't gonna lie to you, and come back and say,
yeah,
he said he wouldn't take a check for 20 million even. Like, yeah, I probably would.
Yeah, I probably would on that one.
It's like, relax, we got 20 million. Don't worry about the lesbian scene. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could do a Heather Brandy thing, scene that I didn't write in the book. That's okay. I'm okay. Sex sells,
Very good. That is true. Well, now here's my thing. If you get this thing actually done into a series, I would be so pissed off if for the special effects, for everything to make it seem, fully done. If it were like, and I love the Sharknado series. I do. I love it. It's cheesy. It's campy. It's over the top. It's ridiculous. And I love it for that. But if I had to look at a Buford that was created using the CGI, like the Sci-Fi Channel uses or whatever,
well,
it just looks fake. No.
Shitty CGI is never good, but top notch, top dollar CGI, it would work fine. And you wouldn't have to worry about the actors passing out in that big, hairy fucking suit.
I mean, I could watch a series that looked like that. I mean, that's damn good. If you went full CGI and not have people and CGI, and you just went full CGI like an anime, dude, I could go for that. I don't
know. I'm not sure. What do you think, Richard?
I mean, I wouldn't want to go with animated series. I don't want to do animated because even though I think it would make a hell of an animated series, you could, and you wouldn't have to worry about all the damn CGI and stunt doubles and all that good shit. But I just, I shy away from animated stuff. That's just me. I'm 51 years old, and I'm childish. I'm a man child. Okay,
look behind him. That's all you got to do. Look behind him.
Yeah, and I don't like animated stuff anymore. I've just kind of outgrown the cartoon thing, even though there's very adult cartoons out there.
That's on a different website.
Yeah. But I just don't.
I'll put a link up for y'all.
Yeah, I don't have a huge love for animated stuff. I'd like to see it be live action if anything were like that were to miraculously happen.
It's C. Derek Miller has a pretty good suggestion for it as well.
What's that?
What about a video game? Where you can play as Rue and Buford, or even have maybe a team or something, and you control both characters and.
Oh, I mean, and upgrade weapons and stuff like that. The thought has definitely crossed my mind because I love my PS5, and I love playing video games, and I've thought about that. I have actually put some thought into how I can make Wild Eyed Southern Boyz into a playable open world game or something. That'd be pretty cool.
You'd have to take it in the direction of Postal, though. You'd have to be able. You guys ever play the game Postal?
Haven't played that one.
No.
Okay, well, it's before Grand Theft Auto ever came out. There was Postal, where you could kick people to death, piss on them. I mean, it's a rude game. I would see if we could have this series with that kind of capabilities, I could see where I would have a lot of fun.
You had Buford pissing on people after he chops them up. Yeah. Okay.
Nails on their leg.
We can make that work. Yeah.
Hey, the peeing part is very crucial because when you catch on fire, you have to piss up to put yourself out.
Ooh,
that would be like an up stick, left flipper kind of maneuver to make that click.
I know another author who's kind of cornered the market on using piss as a weapon.
Yeah, what one's that?
Well, it's not me.
Not dropping names over here, are we not?
Yeah. It might be in another Bigfoot book coming soon to Amazon near you. So,
Sasquatch, the Golden Shower. Is that what we're going for here?
yeah.
I'm just going to move us on to the next question.
I think we should explore this particular part. Don't shy
That's
away.
okay. That's okay. No.
Yeah.
Read
Yeah.
Jack's book when it comes out, Blood Trail, and you'll have your answers.
Yeah.
Hey, trust me, if something really bad is about to happen to me and I have no way out, why not? That was my thinking. Why not?
I'm gonna piss all over whatever's about to kill me. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because
Clean
we got to
that
think
up.
about though. Think about that though. You get to the pearly gates, you walk up, and St. Peter's there, and he's reading the book, and he goes, "Oh, okay, let's see. Oh, Richard Rose, you went out by this form, and you did what? Mm-hmm.
You're in.
Yeah.
Come on,
You're in.
That is ballsy shit right there.
Yeah. No, take the head down escalator, Rich. Down escalator. Okay.
Actually, fuck that. Take the slide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trap door for you. Chink.
Yeah.
Out of here.
Yeah, but we're coming up towards the end of the show. But Wild Eyed Southern Boyz Dead Cold War is available now on Kindle. Amazon, Goodreads.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I'll let you know tomorrow, folks.
See if you can download it. Go ahead and pay for it, download it, and see if you actually get anything. Okay.
This is why I invited him onto the show right here, because he's been waiting to get at you for a hot minute.
He's been on my ass like white on rice for like the past 6 months at least. So
That's what I do.
and soon, next 2 to 3 weeks probably, it'll be available on Audible and iTunes with the audiobook with the great Steve Vernon coming back and giving us more of his awesomeness to tell the story. So
That was a good choice in narrator too.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good choice.
And I'll let you know, Dan, the first 2 books that he narrated, he hadn't lost a step on the little bit that we've got to hear so far. He has not lost a step. In fact, he may have even upped his game a little bit, because now he's more, he's fully familiar with it now. Like he knows hell, he in a way, he is part of this damn series. Like Sean Runette with Tufo.
Is Michael Talbot. I get it.
Exactly.
Is he a Southern boy? The narrator?
My narrator? Yeah. He's from
Okay.
North Carolina. That's kind of the South,
Distant cousin.
far enough south. It was a border state,
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
But he knocked it absolutely out of the park, man. He is amazing with what he does. And so, Steve, man, if you get a chance to check us out, we love you, brother. You are a man. Absolutely freaking love it. Well, guys, we literally are at the end of the live stream form of the takeover. And I'm still thinking that we should just take the whole damn thing over anyway, just start running it. But then we'd have to deal with DJ Cooper, and I don't want to do that.
No.
So we're just going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Everybody, you know where you can find these books. Go get them. If you're an audiobook fan, got those too. Go get them. This is one of the most original, creative stories I have read quite possibly ever. I don't want to say ever, because I never know. I may have forgot something, but no, it's ever. This is unfreaking believable what he's got going on. And yet all of it's true. I mean, this is literally a documentary that he has written for you people. You need to go check it out, because you don't want to be surprised one day when you're walking around Kroger going to get your gallon of milk, to head home to eat your bowl of cereal, and Buford standing there deciding which cheese he wants to get, so just, it's a real thing. So get out there, everybody. Go get Wild Eyed Southern Boyz 1, 2, and 3 officially, because, man, I'm telling you, me and Dan are not bullshitting you when we tell you that this guy over here, he's ate up with talent. Ate up with it. And he didn't even know it.
I made up.
Well, Well, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thanks everyone that tuned in. The contests are still live. They're good till midnight tonight. Get in there, drop your comments. Even if you get the wrong answers and no one gets them right, we'll still figure out a way to do a drawing. So somebody is walking away with one hell of a prize package. So with that, for Dungeondan Uebel, for me, and the guest of honor, the man with the power, Bigfoot bastard over here.
Bigfoot bastard.
Richard R. Rose, author. I wish you well. Peace out.
Bye-bye.
See you.